My name is Loy, and I'd like to walk you through a tanker truck emergency. Let's get at it. Tanker emergencies can have all kinds of different hazards. Today we're going to look at the flammable and combustible hazards. So I'm going to put you in a command car, and I'm going to let you listen to dispatch information and form an idea of what kind of a tanker truck emergency you're going to. And so all of this is live audio, all of this is going to be live video, so you may have to listen carefully to hear it, but you'll be gathering information as you move to the event. One of the things to keep in mind is that dispatch information may be erroneous. Sometimes they get conflicting information, and if you are in first responding world, you're very familiar with that. It's helpful if first arriving units provide dispatch corrected information so that oncoming or further coming units can respond better. So this is what you're going to do. I'm going to ask you to imagine that you are dispatched to a tanker truck on fire on an interstate. You get the dispatch information and you don't know any more than that. But as you drive to the call, you will hear from the dispatch a little more information. So listen carefully and form a plan for attacking this tanker truck emergency. You are in a command car here, so let's have a look at this.
Netcom up. Channel 3. To get an update from 44, see what's going on. Got it.
Turn right in 1/10 of a mile.
Copy I-25. Commercial carrier fire. Nav page R28A at I-25 northbound south of Bellevue. I-25 northbound south of Bellevue. On a ramp to I-25 at Orchard.
Turn left
Okay,
in
copy.
1/10 of a mile.
Command Tower, emergencies approaching the scene.
Channel 7.
Position yourself a ways off. This thing just levied. At least 200 feet off. Pull it. Line and start extinguishment. I'll back you up with engine 31. 30 copy, 200 feet away. Pulling the line. Medic 32, looks like the patient went with Metro Care, so aid in the fire tech, please.
Continue onward in 1/10 of a mile.
All right, so I'd like to stop it there for a second and just let you gather what information you now have. I've given you the first look at the fire, and now you have some sense of what you're going to. Got a nice black plume. Don't have any sense of what's burning yet, but you know it's some kind of a hydrocarbon fire. Other things you might have picked up on, somebody made the statement that they thought that there was already a bevy, and there was some information even about a victim. If it's at all possible when you're responding to these emergencies, you want to come upwind and uphill, but like in this case, really there's just two directions you can go. You can either go on the northbound traffic or the southbound traffic, and actually both will provide access to this event. As you'll see, it's really common. Traffic is backed up, and the first arriving units, just like you heard in the dispatch information or in the radio traffic, they were relaying information about the event and even how to come in. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to do is this. I would like to show you something that you never ever get to see. I would like to back up in time and show you how this event started in the first place. So in this video here, this is the actual tanker truck that is going to be on fire. Now, by the time you saw it in the command car, it was already fully involved in black plume. But here we have just a little bit of smoke. So I'd like to show you how this evolved information that you don't normally get. You don't normally see this. There's some audio associated with this. This is actually live footage of somebody who is watching this unfold. My guess is they're probably about 7 stories up and they're looking down. A little bit of colorful language, but it kind of adds to it to listen to the way people were responding to this at the time. So listen to this and gather more information, and then I'll put you back in the command car in just a second.
Oh, look at this. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Explode?
It might. It's diesel, not gas.
It might. Get away from that window.
Oh, right. Same people who would be doing this with a tornado out there.
No.
It's getting bigger.
All right, so now you kind of saw this from a mild fire, and now it's starting to grow. You're gathering more information. I'd like to show you something. So I'm going to put you in a car on the other side of the highway. So you're going to be heading in the opposite direction. And to get a clue about what the fire actually is and what's burning, it might be helpful to see that from the other side. You can see that we have a spill that's already going onto the other side of the road. Let me show you this. So this is just some footage as somebody was driving by it. And I'm going to put you in that.
Twitter, and he was driving. So he's driving on the southbound lanes of I-25, passing the fire just after it happened. And what I want to point out is here, so you're seeing the fire, and look right there. Look at the pink. You can see the fuel spewing out of the tanker right there. Wow. So right there, you can see there's the front of the cab, and then you can see that fuel just spewing out here in the southbound lanes, and these drivers are going over it. So at any point, that fire could have just spread to the fuel there on that side of the highway and caught any of the...
All right, so you get your first look at it now. You can see it's red. If you are very familiar with different kinds of diesel, red diesel is off-road diesel. And as they're pointing out, the fire had not yet spread to the other side. It was burning pretty vigorously by the truck, but it hadn't spread across the road. All that has to happen for diesel, of course, is for the temperature to rise enough, and then it was plenty flammable. And so I'm going to put you back 7 stories up and look down, and we'll watch this scene unfold a little more. So keep in mind, I'm going to put you back in the command car, but before you do that, you will actually see the first arriving units on scene, and there'll be a truck that's going to show up over here. There'll be an ambulance. Once again, gather information, and we'll make a plan to attack this.
Oh my God.
It's ready to blow, you guys. It's ready to blow.
Good God. And people are still stupidly driving near it, are they? Wow.
Yeah, there is no way I would be driving my car.
You just stop.
Oh, finally somebody stops them. Doesn't it occur to people to do that?
They're still going by.
It's all on the other side of the highway. Do you see it? It's on fire all the way over there.
Okay, that side stopped. The police stopped them over there.
Most exciting.
They're not far enough back. Yeah, the ground was on fire, so I started filming, and then the truck caught on fire. Oh my God, this is big. Whoa. Holy shit.
Okay, I'm done videoing because that is just frightening to me. Look at that girl walking down there.
Yeah, she's leaving like she should now.
There it went!
Oh God, that
Watch.
blew up. Oh, watch out, watch out!
Watch out!
Oh crap.
You dummies!
You might have voted. And he's going back. Okay,
Look
he's
at
got his
that
camera.
smoke!
Oh man. These people are still driving by. Where are the police at? Okay, they're stopping them now.
Look at the people out there.
They are stupid. It already blew.
It blew up.
Did the person get out of it?
Yeah, he was on fire a little. He fell down. No, he's over there. He's in the back. He's in the ambulance. Yeah, I think he might have some burns though.
Oh my God.
So he's over there, the
How did
person.
this happen?
The back, see that back part that's on the ground? I heard the sound and I looked out there and he was scraping and the ground was on fire.
Oh my God.
And it stopped and it was made a lot of noise and then It was just a little bit of a fire on the ground.
We better stand back.
They did stop traffic, but people are getting by somehow. Are they stupid? It's burning.
How do you know it's like a huge piece of metal?
Is that like an oil tanker?
No, but these people are still driving. What are the cops doing? I see police lights back there, and people are still getting by.
Dude, look at this. Look at this.
Holy smoke!
That is crazy.
Look at it, how far it is right there.
It's on the
That's all
street. Look, those
it's like
cars are
all the way
backing up.
on the street. It's just burning.
They don't want to be there.
They shouldn't even be there at all. These people are crazy.
Why would they not shut down that train?
Even the fire department's not going up there.
Everybody's going in reverse over there.
They should, because the fire is. Look at
Turn
the fire.
around.
Major poison.
Holy.
Good timing, guys.
Now they finally got the, things, but they don't want to go nowhere near it.
Holy cow. Got 5 minutes.
Guys,
Holy smoke!
down on the grass.
Reporting live
Oh my God.
from Greenwich Village.
Not good.
I hope there was
You heard
only
it
one
here first,
person in
folks.
there.
Is it?
David,
What is it?
I heard the explosion. Did you? Wow.
Good name.
We still don't know what kind of truck it is?
I don't know what I just saw the back fall, and it started back there by the sign, and then it was in the shoulder, and all that black on the road over there was the back of that dragging, and then it stopped, and I looked at it, and I saw fire streaks, and I'm like, wow, that is weird. So I started
the truck is
filming.
on this side,
Yeah, and the gas is pouring out.
and the smoke's on that.
We can't
the
go
fire-
by.
How come the...
Maybe tires are. Maybe those are tires blowing up too.
Did you think the guy got out?
He did. He jumped out this side and he fell down. And I thought he was looking under the truck. And then another guy in the yellow thing ran up and grabbed him and tried to put fire out. And they ran over there.
Oh, thank God.
That is crazy.
Wow. So what, he was setting off sparks?
Yeah, that back part fell down and he was in the shoulder. And then it was just making all this noise. So I looked up. I was like, what is that? And then you
Why
saw
don't they
it,
have
and-
fire trucks over there on that side to get that fire out?
Yeah, because it's
I don't know.
traveling.
They do have police over there.
I know, but the fire's going longer. Get fire trucks over there. People.
They're not even going to put it out.
No.
They're getting away.
Was the thing coming northbound the whole time?
It was coming this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is there?
I think the gas leaked.
It
and
leaked
it's-
out.
It must be at an angle, and it's
Yeah, it might
draining
be.
down.
Look at that cloud. That's so...
So look at
Look at that
tornado.
tornado.
It's hot to have that.
Whoa!
Firenado.
It's really hot over there.
Oh, I'm so glad that guy got out. Yeah. Why can't they put it out?
It's too hot, and it's a fuel fire, so they don't even have the right
The right truck.
water. You don't use water. All it does is
Oh,
spread
here
it.
comes another truck.
Yeah, all it does is spread it around. They need that foam. They need foam.
That truck probably has it then.
Say, I'm glad that that it's not too dry. It's been really rainy, so if that thing jumps the...
Look at, they're getting their fire hose away from it. They're,
Yeah,
Oh, look at that.
it's still. The thing is going to
gonna-
melt into the
oh, it's
ground.
gonna go
Once the metal catches on
bad.
fire, it's going to get even hotter.
oh, gosh, it's sad.
That's gonna.
It's
they're
gonna
have
blow
that part of the
up.
highway closed for a while.
What the hell is wrong with all these people?
Not so bright.
But you know they're going to explode.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I will say that I'm going to put you inside the engine that you saw pulling up here. They're going to make an attack. Earlier, you saw a truck company come in. They dumped what water they had on the fire to control, to mitigate. Didn't really accomplish a whole lot. They didn't have any foam going. They just had water. But eventually I'm going to put you in a truck or an engine company that is actually making an attack, and they will actually use some foam. Before I do that, a couple of things just to think about. So whenever you are sizing this thing up, you're thinking about the situation as well as the chemical. There are some things to think about. So the situation that you go for is, well, what's the problem? Do I have a leak? Do I have a spill? Do I have a fire? In this case, you've got a leak and you've got a fire both. Are there any rescues that need to be made? The information we received so far says that there was a driver. He was able to get out. Actually, it was some quick thinking of a highway worker. Actually drug him away from that, helped him put the fire out, and then assisted him getting into the ambulance. You can think about exposure issues. The main exposures here are traffic moving around. There's a concrete divider. Interestingly enough, the rail traffic you saw moving behind the fire. People who were on that train, they actually said that they could feel the heat from it. I don't believe they ever shut that down. So one of the things you might want to think about is, okay, well, what do we have spilling here? And our best information was that we saw something red spilling out. You may not even know at this time what you're responding to, because you don't get to see, like I took you on the other side of the highway, you don't get to see that, but you do now know what that is. This is diesel, and it's red diesel. An honest question is, well, how much do we have? When you look at that big plume, it looks like we have a huge amount of diesel on fire. It turns out that there's really only about 500 gallons of diesel here, and there's about another 500 gallons of various kinds of oil that are associated with this. So it doesn't take a tremendous amount of volume to produce such a huge smoke and plume there. Think about your hazards that you have there. You've got your fires, you've got all that smoke that's going on. Trying to think about, okay, well, how much was spilled, how much was being carried. You may not know that. This truck was it's going to be so obscured by the fire that's burning that when you pull up in the command car, you may not know that. There may be a bill of lading that you could deal with, but in this case, that's just not going to be an issue, because that cab is completely on fire, and the driver has now been removed from the scene. He's in an ambulance heading to there. If you have issues of rescue, obviously you don't want to delay rescue to identify something. You want to make sure you know who the driver or where the driver is. And in this case, we do know that the driver was able to get out, and he's in the ambulance. Consider the fact that there might be passengers. There were no passengers in this case, and there are no other vehicles involved in this case. All right, so I'm going to put you back now into the command car. And you're going to watch this fire. So now you know more than the command officer knows, because you saw this thing basically start from its beginning. You are looking at the plume as you're heading in. I'm also going to give you some dash cam from an engine company that is responding at the same time to this. I want you to focus on what the officer is thinking, the plans that he's making, and then eventually I'll put you into that engine company and we will go from there. So here, you're back in the command car, trying to make your way to the...
934, you copy, let's notify light rail to shut down. Copy, notify light rail to shut down. Back on I-25 command. Sounds like Greenwood Village has RTDs shut down the light rail line already. Copy. Police from the scene, could you let I-25 command know we're heading to 35 to launch this road now?
Hey. If you're able to respond,
phone truck's coming from 46.
We'll be able to use the help.
Came in service. You want to go by 35 and pick up the phone?
Okay, thanks. All right.
Dave from... Tower 32 Bravo. Go ahead, 32 Bravo. Just about out of water. We're just out of water right now. Copy, you're out of water. Brake engine 31, come in. 31. Your location in ETA?
Beach, Dayton and Orchard.
I want you to pull your own line position just to the north.
All right, so now I've got you on scene in the command car. The ambulance is still here at this point. That's the truck that did the initial attack. The firefighters are going to pull that hose out of the way, and I'll just let you know that you're going to direct an incoming engine crew to resume the attack. But listening to the radio traffic, you learn that they are out of water at this point, which is no surprise. You only have a very limited amount of water on those trucks. And you're going to be now making decisions about how you're going to proceed. And what you're going to see is how they actually did it, and you'll just be able to make your own assessments about the value of their attack and their strategies. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you inside the engine company that they're going to assign the task of putting out this fire. This is the dash cam for that right there. You will see the engine company come in, and they will pull in front of the command car, and they'll be directed forward. So let me put you, you start off in the command car, but then you're going to go to the engine company here.
Engine 31.
31. Stop.
Are you pulling up right behind me?
Stay firm.
Copy. Head on up just to the front of 32. Start applying a foam blanket.
Copy. Yellow line. Some hydrant over there, Jim. Yeah.
That's your repeat. Perfect. Engine 38. You're going to be assigned to the north machine. 934 along with engine 33.
How's the tire?
You might see a fueling truck or tractor. Great. Next on my 25%. Transported one patient via private ambulance.
We need a hydrant. Okay,
Two more
I'm gonna
engines,
get
one
him.
stage
There's one over there.
Orchard at I-25 facing northbound, and an additional one to the north division.
Here comes your water.
Is on deck. I'll go ahead and additional one facing northbound to Orchard, and then one coming to the south station southbound.
Can you do those kinks? I'll give you a hand. Can you get those kinks out?
Go. Engine 38. They're approaching the building. should be a plug just to the south of that
Moving
building.
forward, I only got about an eighth of a tank left. Move forward and try to get on top. Copy. That's good. We're not saving anything. We don't need
Hey, from just northeast on the corner of that garage should be a plug. If you can visualize it, we may be able to hand stretch, just cut the fence. Got it.
That's it. That's that now.
All right, so one of the questions that you're going to often ask is, are we making progress? How are things going? And shockingly, it actually looks like things are moving in the right direction here. But of course, they have to shut down their operation because they don't have a water supply. They have spent what foam they have. Unfortunately, in spite of how things look like they were improving, I'm going to move you down a little bit farther. So now I'm going to move you down on the other side. So you're still on the same side of the highway, but you're on the other side of the truck. And you're going to notice that, obviously, that while we may have slowed things down a little bit initially, this hydrocarbon fire is just burning out of control, and they're going to eventually just have to allow it to burn. But they're not giving up yet. We're going to watch another Metro truck come in with a big old dry chem, and they're going to see what they can do with it. So let's watch that. There, I'm going to show you the same exact fire attack. Now I'm going to put you on the other side of the highway. You're looking down. This is probably helicopter video. You're going to hear reporters and what they have to say, but mostly I'm just showing you as you watch this dry chem truck come in and they proceed with their attack. Watch how it evolves.
Explosions with tires flying in the road. It was quite a scary sight to see.
So the road crew, were there people doing work on the interstate right there that just happened to be there to help the driver?
It appeared to be so, or as the construction on I-25, they may have saw what had happened and drove up to come help. The fellow. So it was one of the two, but it was great action on those people.
Well, thankfully they were there to be able to help them. So you says it looks as if this possible tanker lost its brakes and just slammed into the median.
Yeah, it was either something had caught on fire or they had lost brakes. Something malfunctioned with that truck that it was engulfed in black smoke and then started on fire as he slammed into the median.
Well, we are still watching. The firefighters are now moving back in a little bit closer into this fuel tanker, but we can see massive flames. Thankfully, the road crews were there to help that driver get out, but you said he was on fire as they pulled him from that cab.
That is correct. His right pant leg, I believe, was engulfed in flames, and you could see him. He looked like he was in pain because he tried to get up and then fall right back down. I mean, that other gentleman, why that truck was completely engulfed in flames, ran right next to him, right in the heart of the danger, and really helped put that fire out and securely get that man out of harm's way.
Well, we have been told that that driver was transported to the hospital. His condition right now is unknown. We don't know how serious his injuries are, but definitely a huge thank you to that person who jumped in to pull him from the cab of his truck. It is just scary as you see this video. The fire is so intense.
Yeah, this is quite amazing. You see what the South Metro fire crews are doing. They're using that specialized vehicle there, and I think right there is one of the tires that is still on fire, and that's a specialized vehicle there that's spraying that foam all over this tanker fire, and you could see that the front, this should be the engine compartment right there, and the rest of the cab is gone, so it could have been a tragic situation if that driver wasn't pulled out, even though he has some burns. At least he's alive, which is amazing when you're looking at this. And with the amount of fuel that is in that tanker, it just continues to burn and burn and burn. And that's the only way that firefighters can get in there. That's just burning so hot. They're throwing the foam on there as best they can, as try to knock that fire out. And hopefully they will be able to do that. It's too bad they can't do it from the side, but it started melting that metal there. I've been looking at some of the 70 here in just a little bit. Jacqueline Allen is down there right near the scene. Jacqueline, what are you seeing from your perspective right now?
Well, we're actually just being moved. We were right next to the fire, and they just told us to move back because you saw the firefighters spraying the foam. That started blowing towards us, and we basically just got surrounded by this foam and this white smoke as they're trying to get this under control. What we can see from where we are is that the median has some pretty serious damage to it. We can see that damage that they were talking about that might cause a more prolonged highway closure because there's concrete all over the highway here. The flames are still coming out of this fuel tanker. You can see that they're really trying to fight it, and we are just right in the middle of this.
All right, so I'll stop that there. So what you could see is that, unfortunately, that the truck with the dry chem extinguisher, the fire was being shielded by the actual tank. Which prevented them from making much of a difference. And eventually what's going to happen is that they are going to have to let this fire burn out in spite of all the foam that they have put on there from the fire side, the dry chem side. They're not going to be able to put this fire out. Now the questions that you would be thinking about if you were in the command vehicle would be about this cleanup. There are concerns about the foam moving into the drains, and actually I have a slide. We'll just continue with some of the video as this wears down here.
That this fire could be burning for another hour or two. So this is going to cause some major problems because, as Jason's been mentioning, even once this fire is out, they're still going to have to go in, check the repairs on the roads, see what needs to be done for the interstate. This fire has been burning so hot and for so long right now. We are looking at almost about an hour that this fuel truck has been on fire. So the heat from this is causing a lot of problems on that interstate. Both northbound and southbound had flames. The fuel all over the interstate. Now, the white that you're looking at there, that is the foam that firefighters were using to try to extinguish it. They use that when they have these types of fuel tank fires. Works much better than water out there, but you can still see the thick black smoke billowing. Now, I want to take you back. We spoke to an eyewitness a short time ago.
All right, so just to give you a picture of the scope of what you now are going to be thinking about as cleanup, looks like the firefighters are doing a pretty good job of trying to cover manholes or the drains over here. It looks like they have eventually established a water supply from that building off to the side. But what's going to happen now is this is going to finish burning out, and then the cleanup. And I believe the way they ended up doing the cleanup is they just brought a whole bunch of sand in and front-end loaders and cleaned it up as best they could with that. And then they had to, the highway crews had to repair the roads. Anyway, so this was just a quick view of a tanker truck emergency. Give you a picture of what the tanker truck actually looked like. This was it. 500-gallon tank. There were some other, maybe as much as 500 gallons of other oil that was on there that continued to burn. But this is a very small tanker truck compared to many of them that are traveling down our roads, and give you a chance to think through attack, mitigation, cleanup, all of those things. So I hope you enjoyed it.